Hello. It's been great to be with you so far in class, though we've not been in person. It's been great to get to know you by watching your online posts. It's also been wonderful to watch you wrestle with the different readings and different conversations back and forth, the way you've helped to stretch each other and form your thoughts. I can start to see you wrestling with the partnership of clergy and laity and what those two different roles mean, and how the clergy and the laity work together to be about God's work and God's mission in our world. I hope that it will continue to develop and grow and that you'll continue to wrestle with it. Some might be finding some frustration of wanting just an answer to tell us how it works, and unfortunately that's not how I see my role as your professor. I'm hoping to help you shape and form your understanding by looking at lots of different pieces and putting together your own understanding, your own theology, your own practices. This week our attention has turned to looking at spiritual gifts. I spent some time in my journey as a director of gifts deployment at a local church, where we helped people in the church discover who they are, discover their gifts, and put them into work. One of the things I learned during that time was that we can't move too quickly to discovering of spiritual gifts. People need to work their way to it. It's kind of a 301 level, not a 101 level interaction in the life of the church. The very first time I tried to offer spiritual gifts, we advertised it, we put it out there, we invited people to be involved, and 2 people came to the class, even though many others said they were interested. And when I did a little digging, people said they didn't feel like they understood it or were ready for it. So I had to do some teaching before we got to there. We had to do some basics of Christian living. We had to do some basic understandings of the scriptures and a life of prayer and grow a little bit. And then we were able to help people find their spiritual gifts and then connect with different ministries. Now, as we talk about that, I think it's important to understand that there is no greater gift than another. Also, there is no gift that eliminates you from a particular ministry. I think about, I've seen several of you talk about youth ministry, and maybe somebody has maybe a gift of administration, and they aren't sure how that would fit in with youth ministry. Well, if those of you in youth ministry or have ever been involved with it know, there's a lot of administrative tasks that help youth ministry move smoothly, that sometimes those gifted working with kids don't necessarily have. So if they have a passion for youth ministry and a gift for administration, perhaps the youth ministry would be exactly the place for them to be, not some other church committee with that gift of administration. So take some time and help think through and help people think through how their gifts might work with their passions. That's why I appreciate the book Shape so much, as it helps us to look at that and move deeper than that. But more than just helping discover that, like I said, you have to kind of work people to it. They might be new to Christ, but it may take a little bit of time before they're ready to really explore their gifts and understand what the Holy Spirit is doing within them. I hope that will be helpful as you think about the ways that you're learning about your own gifts, but helping others to do the same. All of it together to understand how the gifts work together for the different roles to which God calls us in the church, whether it be as a clergy person or as a lay person. In a short period of time, we'll have our first synchronous class where we'll meet together on Zoom, and I look forward to interacting with you all live in that way, shape, or form. After that class, you'll notice that on the coursework, some of the work starts to change shape. On the front end here, we've had a little bit more work, a lot more postings online. That'll start to even out a little bit, and that's because I want you to start to spend more time working on your final project, working on a deployment system for laity in the life of a local church. And we'll talk more about this in our synchronous session, but I just wanted to kind of note that that's going to be happening. There really won't be many more additions to the page, maybe 1 or 2 forums, but most likely not, because I don't want you to use a lot more time there. I want you to use a lot of your time on developing this plan of how you're going to deploy people. And just as a heads up, in our last synchronous session on April 4th, we're going to have about 5 minutes for each person to share the basic outline of their plan so that we can hear what they're putting together and how they would help the people in the life of the church engage the fullness of who they are and who God's calling them to be. I look forward to seeing your conversations around spiritual gifts, and I look forward to being with you all on Zoom in just a few days. Take care, and God bless.